Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout using the July Valley High kit from Studio Calico. I'm just showing you some of the stuff I may be using, and everything I'm using is either from the July kit or some stuff that I had pulled aside in that separate container that I wanted to use with this month's kit. And I want to use that scrap from Studio Calico, those October Afternoon letters, and 2 papers from October Afternoon, and that gray is from Kezi Art, and I'm going to use it as a background. I'm trying to force myself to use more pattern papers as my background, and where this month the line is very much travel focused. There was a lot of papers from Travel Girl. There was a lot of embellishments from the Travel Girl collection from October Afternoon. I thought we could do some road trip pictures and just some signs and sort of like our route heading to New York, and then our last location that or our target location, as I put the Statue of Liberty, because to me and to a lot of people, I guess, the Statue of Liberty represents, New York, and when you see the Statue of Liberty, that's the first thing that pops into your head is New York City. And so I cut down the pictures. I think they're 2.5 by 2.5, or maybe 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So they make a little bit more than 6 inches once you put them all in a row. And then I didn't have to cut my 4 by 6 picture down at all. And then it leaves a little space on the bottom of the photo where I could have either journaled or put my title. And I did decide to put my title on that little space. So I'm looking for some papers that I can make or cut down to size to put down right below that photo. I think that's what I'm looking for. I kind of walked away here for a minute. So while I'm walked away and I have no idea what I'm going to do next, this is the third layout using the July Valley High kit, and it took me 1 hour and 20 minutes. And up to now, I am loving this paper collection. And I think the reason last month where I felt like I needed scraps to begin that collection was, one, the month before I really liked the collection. So I was having fun scrapping it. So when I got down to the scraps, I really enjoyed it. And so it felt weird starting with new papers. And 2, I really didn't enjoy the June kit as much as the other kits. So I think I felt like if I had scraps, that it was going to help my process a bit. And it did. But this month, I'm really enjoying the papers. So I don't feel like I needed to cut down my papers into scraps. So I took that October Afternoon paper with the little cars, and the top strip in the little banner, it said New York. So I cut that out. I cut 2 strips at 3/4 of an inch of that chevron October Afternoon paper, and I put it on on the top and the bottom. And now I'm cutting out some papers. It was just scraps left over, and I am just putting it on either side of my cluster of photos. And as I was doing it, to me, it looked like sort of like a map book, that you unfold. So that's what I kept thinking the whole time I was doing, adding those papers there. It looked like a map book that you kind of had half unfolded. And then the part that I was looking at was that map paper. And so that's what I was thinking. So I found that journaling paper, I guess, and it's a scrap that I had used last page. And I measured it, and I'm going to cut it down to size, and I'm going to put it right underneath the photo. And at that point, I didn't know if I wanted to use it for journaling or my title, and I end up wanting to use it as my title. And I just pointed in that little strip at the top, there is some yellow. So that's what I want to pull out for the rest of the layout, is the yellow. Now, where it is gray on gray, and it's a very gray and teal base page at this moment, I want to use my journaling pen, and I'm going to outline every paper. And I believe after that, I'm going to ink it up. I actually got this layout done a few days ago. Today is November 6th, I believe. I just did five shifts in a row. Yeah, November 6th. And so a lot of the layouts I had gotten out or done before I started my rotation. I think I finished this one up after one of my last day shift or something like that. And so now I'm going to ink up the edges with the Memento ink and a Tim Holtz tool. And it's just so that it pops off the page a little bit more. And I'm not doing it very heavily, so it doesn't actually look black. It looks gray up against the gray. And I'm even going to do the little strips. And now I'm going to start gluing everything down. And then I remembered that I had not cut down that little strip, because on this side you couldn't see the strip because it was a whole gray sheet. So I kept the little strip so that I can use it on another layout. And now I'm going to glue the rest of the stuff down. And I'm going to use a combination of my ATG tape and my Scotch quick dry adhesive. And see, this time I'm putting the glue, once I get it unclogged, I'm putting the glue on the bottom of the layer, because I know at this point that my layers are not going to be on the bottom of the gray paper, it will be on top. And this one here, I know that it could be in between the blue paper and the gray paper, so I put it over top and only at the edge, so I can still manage to stick something on the top layer too. But I know if there's anything on a top layer, it won't be, deep. It'll just be on the edge. So I'm going to take out that. It was sort of like, it looks like doilies, but it almost also looks like wax paper, and it came in this month's kit. And I am going to put it in 3 locations, and then I'm going to forget to put it in the final layout on the bottom left layer, but you can't really tell. So I'm going to use those Travel Girl letters, and I'm going to spell out bound. And this is where I'm going to decide I'm going to put it on that little strip of paper. Instead of doing journaling there, I'm going to put my title. Okay, so the recording stopped. So first off, I want to say, if I repeat myself, I'm awfully sorry, but it's hard for me to remember what I had said. And a lot of times I'll listen to the recording again and I think, I had said that about this, and then it's not there because when I did the second time, I thought I had said it already. So anyway, so if I say it twice, I'm awfully sorry. And I'm looking for some second letters to do the second part of the title, and it is from October Afternoon Mini Market, and these ones are called Land and Sea. And I absolutely love these letter stickers, and I can't wait for them to, come out with new kits, or not kits, but lines. And the first thing I do is I go down to check out, what the letters are going to look like, because I know I'm going to get the letters for all the lines, because I absolutely love those letters. And I usually get 2 or 3 of each, because I use them, on almost every layout between all my little letter stickers. So now I'm going to start working on gluing everything down. And I know I want to use this stamp set that I bought from Create Indie, and it is a cityscape. And what I want to do is put it on that piece of paper that I'm going to put my title on, and I just want to put that cityscape in the background of the word bound so that you can kind of see sort of the city tops in behind those letters. So I'm looking for my Stampin' Up! Ink Basic Gray, and it's going to take me a few minutes to kind of find that. And so at this point, I don't know if I told you that this is a third layout and it took me 1 hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to say it again, but if I said it, I apologize. And this is the first time that I ever used one of, her stamp sets. And I tried stamping it out a few times and it wasn't stamping the full image. So then I'm going to take out my Fiskars press and I'm going to stamp it with that. And it did work much better, but I think I'm still going to do the treatment where you use your white eraser and sort of do it all over the stamp set and then wash it with a baby wipe to make sure that I get that film off so that it stamps correctly. Because I did have a little bit of issues again when I do it on that journaling paper. But where it is a see-through stamp set, I was able to just kind of stamp over top again. And I was kind of doing the second generation of stamping anyway. And what I mean by that is I just stamp it on a piece of scrap paper and then I take the second ink, what's left on the stamp set, because I didn't want it to be boom in your face. I wanted it to be just sort of subtle in the background. So I didn't mind that it didn't stamp perfectly. So now I'm going to put the rest of the letters down. And I was just kind of figuring out where I wanted New York to be, because there was another little stamp in there that said City Love, and then it had a arrow. So it's perfect to put next to my title. And then there was another stamp that said Love This City, and I'm going to put it on that top part of the layout right underneath that little arrow that says New York, and then it says Love This City. So I'm going to put my stamp set away and my ink, because I'm probably just going to end up sticking my hand in it or something and then putting it all over my layout. And then I put the rest of my washi tape where I want it, and then I'm going to look for stickers from the sticker sheets that did come in this month's kit. And I'm going to use my EK Success powder tool, that's the name of it, and I'm going to take the stickiness away so that I can move my stickers about without them sticking on my page. Now what I do is, when I usually buy more than just the scrapbooking kit, so I just put all the 3 kits together, or 4 kits if I get the project. I usually get the Project Life, but if I get the add-on, I just put it, everything that I want to use from the kit all together. So I don't know which kit it came from. And now I'm going to look through the rest of the stickers that I had kind of put aside in an iris container that I want to use with this month's kit. And I'm going to keep looking for different stuff that I want to add to this layout. And I found I didn't add a lot of embellishment on this page. I did add, I added sort of that doily, and it almost looks like, I don't know, wax paper, and it's kind of shiny. I don't know. It looks like a doily, but it's not a regular doily. And, a few stickers and chipboard that I had from the basic gray there that I had pulled from my stash that I want to use. And, but it wasn't heavily embellishment. And I think, there's not a lot of embellishment on the page. And I think it's because where I did put that strip at the top, and it has, the cars and everything, and it just kind of looks busy anyway. So I'm going to put my third cluster right there so that it's kind of pointing at the pictures of us traveling. And then I did pull out that chipboard that says hot, and we went to New York, 2 families. Oh, before I say that, I'm just showing you how much I've used of my foam tape. I have a new one and then the one that I've been using, and I have used up quite a bit. And I still have a lot, but just to show how much I've, used up of this foam tape. So anyway, I went with the girl that I work with and her family and my family, and they didn't know each other, but we knew each other, so we knew that we would have fun, but everybody ended up having fun. The husbands got along and the kids got along, even though there was quite an age span in between the kids. My daughter was 19, her daughter was 15, and my son was 12, but they're all easygoing kids, so they still enjoyed each other and had fun. And so one of the sticker looked like a sun. It came from the October afternoon sticker sheet. So I put it next to that word hot because the entire time that we were there, it was in the 90s and the hundreds. And we were just like, oof, like walking around New York City, we just be, almost dying. It was so hot, but we loved it. We enjoyed every minute of it. So some of the stickers that I pulled out, the top left says my big adventure, and right underneath I took one of those My Mind's Eye tiny stickers, and it says sightseeing. And then the other one with the bottom left or the middle cluster, I just put the word taxi because we just laughed at how many taxis we used to see all the time. And then of course to the top right, I put the word or the chipboard that says hot, and then big city. And now I'm going to glue down all my clusters, and I'm using my Scotch quick dry adhesive, and I got mine on Michael's, but they're kind of finicky with whether they carry it or not. So usually when I see that they finally have it back in stock, because they can go like 6 months without having any, I'll go like 3 or 4 days in a row and use my, a coupon, 40 or 50% off. And I'll buy 5 or 6, I'll bring my husband with me and buy like 4 or 5 bottles, 6 bottles, because I'm so afraid to run out because they're not dependable. And then for me to buy it on eBay, it's really expensive. And I find the scrapbooking stores, they only carry the 2-ounce bottle, and it's the same price as I pay for the 4-ounce. So when I see it, that I'm going to pay $5 a bottle, I buy it and stock up on it. Because as long as you don't use it, it doesn't dry out. I'm sure it wouldn't last like 10 years, but it doesn't last that long. So now I'm trying to figure out which twine I'm going to use, and I'm going to end up using that yellow one. And there was some yellow accent in that paper, so that's the color that I wanted to bring out, was that yellow accent. And my camera's going to die here in a little minute, and basically I was just adding some sequins that I had bought from Studio Calico, and it's the neon colors, and I picked out the yellow ones. And then I'm going to show some still pictures. So if you want to see more still pictures, you can go to Studio Calico or 2 Peas in a Bucket. In the members gallery, just look for Nicole Jones 911. And now you can join me on Pinterest, and it's Nicole Jones 911 also. But I also added a link on my YouTube channel, and on my banner, it's on the bottom right. I noticed that they added it there, but it's also in the About tab, and you can just join me or just go see the pins that I've added to Pinterest, or you can join me on Facebook. I started a Facebook group a few months ago, and I have the link in the description, and I'll probably add it in the About tab eventually too. I seem to have only a few minutes here and there, and then I tried to, kind of get caught up on a few things. So this is where I'm going to add some sequins, and I am enjoying this kit so much. I love the papers, and today's November 6th, and I have a few days, if you want to say off. I have a few overtime, but it's 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So it's the perfect shift where you can still get up early-ish in the morning, 8 or 9 or 8, usually about 8. And I still have my full day, so I love that. So I'm hoping to get a few pages done, and I plan on uploading every second or third day or something like that. I want to try and get this July. I'd like to get July and August done before I go on vacay in 6 weeks. And I can't wait. I'm going to have an entire month off, and I'm just going to scrap my little heart out. And I decided to do December daily. So as soon as I get all my stuff, I will share. So thanks for watching. Bye.